Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit posts are from Am I the A-Hole? Story 1 is a two-parter. The OP for this one recently posted an update to a story that they shared before, so I'm going to read the first story and then its follow-up. By Fakey Namey. Would I be the a-hole if I rescinded my offer to pay for a friend's birthday dinner after they picked somewhere I can't eat? My friend Luke is turning 40 and I offered to pay for him and a group of our friends to have dinner anywhere Luke wanted. Luke knows I've been a vegan since my 20s and it's never been an issue before. When I asked where he made reservations, he said a local barbecue place that is famous here for having a menu that mocks people who don't eat meat. Like literally has a section that says, vegetarian options, don't let the door hit you on the way out. I asked what he expected me to eat and he got huffy and said, well, it's his birthday, so it shouldn't matter. I should eat before getting there and just order drinks while everyone else eats dinner and still enjoy everyone's company, etc. This sounded miserable to me. I had zero expectations of Luke picking somewhere vegan friendly. Heck, I expected him to pick a steakhouse and I would have been fine with a salad and some sides. I didn't expect him to choose somewhere that prides themselves on meat being in every single dish on the menu. I want to tell him never mind and buy him a traditional birthday gift instead, but I feel like a massive jerk for taking back my offer. I don't know what to do, to be honest. Edited to add, this is a group of 9. I'm also feeling miffed about spending $300+ on a meal I can't eat. Second edit, the exact text I said is this. Hey, I want to take you and the friend fam out to dinner for your birthday. Make a reservation somewhere and let me know. And more recently, they posted this update. Hey folks, this may not be the dramatic update you all wanted, but here we go. First, to clear up some things, many of the comments assumed I was a man and Luke was trying to emasculate me somehow. I am a 41-year-old woman and our friend group that was invited are 4 women and 6 men. 4 of those people are spouses and the other 6 of us have known each other since college, after living in the same academic focus house senior year, an off-campus housing option where people who share a concentration can apply for and live in standalone houses off-campus that are university-owned. That's a story for another time, just trying to give context. After deciding to just cancel and take a break from my friendship with Luke, I got a text from our friend Susan letting me know Luke had told everyone where we were going to eat, and without prompting, got several texts back along the lines of, hilarious, but where are we really eating? Without any drama, I guess Luke realized he had made a mistake and got a text later in the day from him saying he was sorry, and he had decided on a different spot. Luke has always been a bit oblivious and bad with social cues, and I'm bad at confrontation, which was a bad mix. Dinner was last night and went great. Everyone was making fun of Luke for the initial choice, but he took it in stride and we all had a great time catching up and being away from our respective kids for a night. Sorry for the boring update. Luke is kind of a jerk. He knew you were vegan and he chose a place that is almost in a way hostile towards people who don't eat meat. Veganism is fine, and there's so many places he could have picked, and he picked one where he knew that nothing on the menu was something you could eat. And to tell you that you should just come enjoy the conversation and have drinks is more than a little silly. It's downright inconsiderate. Down in the comments by Tripfina. So, your friend only chose another restaurant when his other friend said it was an inappropriate choice? It doesn't sound like he cares about you or your friendship. Under that by Uncaring Hawk. Right? I'm surprised everyone is like, hooray, happy ending. No? Luke sounds like a massive jerk, and through dumb luck and embarrassment, he managed to backpedal just in time to avoid consequences. I feel like it's only a matter of time until he does something else insensitive and cruel. Under that by Aspios. Being somewhat oblivious is a character flaw to be sure, but not a fundamental or irredeemable one. Sounds like Luke just sometimes needs to be pointed in the right direction. He got the hint, and didn't just backpedal but also apologized. Moreover, he took the jokes in stride. If all that's needed for a good friendship is for someone to sometimes tell him, lol, no, that's a dumb idea, then that's perfectly fine, I'd say. I honestly think you have a right to be quite angry with him for his initial choice, because that was completely thoughtless. Because you made it clear to him that you weren't going to be able to eat there and he still expected you to pay, I think that was a really dumb thing for him to do to start. But maintaining friendships is important too. It's not always easy to get a good friend in the long run, and even though this guy to me doesn't sound like a good friend, maybe it's not worth breaking the relationship over. I truly hope that all your friends really laid into him for his dumb decision to start. Because those aren't just jokes. That's like, how are you that dumb? How could you do that? And think that reserving that place, where they don't even offer food for vegans, is acceptable. Our next post is by ThrowRA Broken Glass. Am I the a-hole for banning my girlfriend for using glass cups when she's over at my house? My girlfriend has a problem with glass. She's clumsy, always has been, and has broken many other things before now. And I would not mind, but she's also awful at cleaning the shards. This past week alone, she's dropped 3 glasses, 1 jar, 2 bowls, and a coffee cup, and busted a plate by leaving it on the stovetop while the oven was preheating, despite being warned many times before that items should not be on the burners when the oven is heating because the conduction carries through. She's been stressed out at work, and I kind of attribute a lot of it to that. I can't even really say which glass objects have injured me specifically each time, just that I have been limping for a week because I stepped on a big shard that went into my foot, and some other smaller ones went into my foot as well, plus some in my palms because I missed them when I kneeled to pull the ones that were in my foot out. I have stepped on or pressed my hand into a glass 4 times this week. Tonight, when she asked for a soda, I poured it into a plastic cup instead of a glass one like she prefers, and said she couldn't use my glasses, and she pitched a fit. I can't phrase it different. She progressively got angrier at me for bringing up the other broken glass items because they were just accidents, and I shouldn't punish her, especially since I started mentioning others before this week. But even so, I am sick of going through gauze and tape. She insists I'm making a mountain of a molehill, and I should clean it up myself to my specifications because she does her best. OP, a lot of people in the comments on this one said that it sounds like she might have some other issue going on because it is not normal to break, let's see, in 1 week, she dropped 3 glasses, 1 jar, 2 bowls, a coffee cup, and broke a plate but by leaving it on the stovetop. She broke 8 items in a week? There is something wrong with her, and according to the comment, it could be medical. Just be aware of that. Down in the comments by Telephone Hopeful 5649. How long has this clumsiness been going on? I'd be worried that there's an underlying medical issue because that's a huge number of items to have broken in such a short space of time. Does she give any reason why she drops things? Could be eyesight, nerve issues, or something more involved like a neurological problem, and the clumsiness is just a symptom. You need to encourage her to get checked out by a doctor because this isn't normal. Underneath that by the OP. She has been breaking stuff since she was a kid, dropping, bumping into, being forceful, bull in a china shop. The only thing that they really found in testing was some ankle turning. There is a technical term I can't remember, basically toes pointed in, which attributed to her tripping, but PT around 9-ish helped a lot. She does go through phases and is more clumsy when stressed or frustrated or emotional. As such, she doesn't think it's an abnormal amount of clumsiness. I mean, and if I say anything, I'm being frustrated or exaggerating. Underneath that by Morbid Concerto. Has she ever been screened for ADHD or autism? Extreme clumsiness can be caused by many neurodiversities. It also may be carpal tunnel. I started dropping things like crazy and had no idea why and got nerve conduction tests done and apparently had carpal tunnel syndrome. I haven't dropped or broken anything since, and I had the surgery almost 3 years ago. Underneath that by Jewolfie. I have autism and this just screams dyspraxia to me. Under that by Ruth the Amazon. Yeah, especially with the ankle turning. That can happen with autism, weirdly enough. Dyspraxia. I'm not going to suggest that the people in comments are experts or anything, but they are giving you some suggestions to look into with a doctor. Might as well do it, because breaking 8 things in a week is not normal. Our next story is by Financial Mortgage 15. Am I the a-hole for expecting my wife to do most of the pool upkeep? I'm a 36 male and my wife is 35. We purchased our house 3 years ago. When we were in the market for houses, my wife stated that she explicitly wanted a pool. I didn't really care too much for a pool, but we had a flexible budget, so I guess why not? I requested, though, that if we bought one, she would have to do 80% of the upkeep, if not all of it. She agreed. Fast forward to now. I've done 90% of the upkeep, and my wife has an excuse every time I ask her to help me clean the pool, or check the alkalinity or pH of the pool. She always is too tired or she'll do it later. I let it happen the first couple of times, but it's kind of getting frustrating now. But luckily, I have 2 employees that are extremely helpful. My son, 7 male, and daughter, 6 female. Very well paid, no complaints so far. Yesterday, my employees were using their time off to go to school, so I got to cleaning. Technically draining, but it took long enough that it was just about done by the time my wife got back home. By the time we were heading to bed, I asked her if she could clean it on Saturday, or I could help, but she hit me with the "I'm busy." She doesn't work on Saturday. I got kind of upset about it and told her that she should be doing 100% of the upkeep anyway, and I'm going to stop taking care of the pool from now. She just told me to stop bluffing and went to sleep. Fast forward to this morning, and she doesn't even want to discuss anything pool-related or even anything related with me. Am I the a-hole? Your wife is the a-hole. I get that people are busy, especially if you have enough money for a house with a pool. It means that you'd have a decent income. It means you guys are both busy. But you should 100% stop taking care of the pool, period, at this point. She wanted it. She agreed to do the upkeep on the pool, at least 80% of it, and she's done nothing for it. I'm sure she uses it. Your kids probably use it too, and they'd be very sad if you suddenly neglected it, but you should stop the upkeep on it. When she starts to see how bad it gets in a very short time span, I'm sure she'll change her tune. Down in the comments by Comfortable C 2454, not the a-hole, your wife pulled a bait and switch. Question, does wifey use the pool on a regular basis? Under that by the OP, when it's warm, she and her friends use it more than I do, for sure. Under that by Bulbasaur Ranch. So then if you just stopped doing it, wouldn't it force her hand and she would have to do it? Like, I don't know why you don't just stop doing it. Under that by Equivalent Roll 3321. Do you close it for the winter? If so, I would suggest you keep it closed. She might somehow see the light when she can't use it. There's no reason that you should have just gotten swindled into taking care of the pool all the time. Taking care of a pool is very expensive and very time-consuming. I've always wanted one, but I am very aware that they take a lot of work and a lot of money, and they can be dangerous too. So many videos of people who have pets whose animals would go out in the wintertime and fall into it or something, and they jump in to rescue them, and I just don't know that it's worth it in the long run. I can just go swim in a river or a lake, and it's probably healthier than swimming in some chlorine-infested water. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a beautiful day.